The next four are the European, African, Middle Eastern campaign streamers. The first, affixed by Mr. Joseph M. Ciccinelli, is for Rome Arno, 1944. The next, affixed by Mr. Richard J. Field, is for Southern France, 1944. The third is for Rhineland, 1944-1945, and is being affixed by Mr. Bernard L. Cheney. And the last one, affixed by Mr. Charles W. Miller, is for the Ardennes, Alsace, 1944-1945. These four streamers are green with a brown stripe on each edge. The green represents the fields of Europe, and the brown, the sands of Africa. The center has a narrow blue, white, and red stripe representing the American Defense Medal ribbon, referring to the continuance of American defense after Pearl Harbor. The white, red, and green stripe at the top of the streamer represent Italy, and the black and white stripe on the lower portion refer to Germany. The Chief of Staff of the Army, assisted by Congresswoman Morella, will now present the Presidential Unit Citation to the 551st, represented by Colonel Douglas C. Dillard, United States Army, retired. A separate battalion attached to the 82nd Airborne Division, the 551st, began its grueling days as the division's spearhead by successfully executing a raid on advanced German positions in Noirfontaine on 27 and 28 December 1944, delivering vital intelligence to the 18th Airborne Corps for the Allied counteroffensive that was soon to come. After attacking from the division's line of departure at Bas-Bodou, the 551st secured the imposing ridges of Harispe. On 4 January, the battalion conducted a rare fixed bayonet attack of machine gun nests that killed 64 Germans and proceeded to capture the towns of Darrell and Cordier. Initially repelled by a hailstorm of artillery and machine gun fire from a high ridge of entrenched enemy, the 551st overwhelmed the defense and captured Rochlenval, shutting off the last bridge of egress to the Germans in a 10-mile sector of the Somme River. The next day, 8 January, Hitler ordered the German army's first pullback from the Battle of the Bulge. While accounting for over 400 German dead and 300 prisoners, the 551st lost over 4/5 of its men, including the death of its inspirational commander, Lieutenant Colonel Wood Jorg. As he led the last attack, the 551st Parachute Infantry Battalion fought with tenacity and fervor that was extraordinary. And what the United States Army historian Charles McDonald called the greatest battle ever fought by the United States Army, the 551st demonstrated the very best of the Army tradition of performance of duty in spite of great sacrifice and against all odds. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Presidential Unit Citation to the 551st Parachute Infantry Battalion for extraordinary heroism in military operations against an armed enemy, 7 January 1945. Signed, Louis Caldera, Secretary of the Army. In recognition of the awarding of the Presidential Unit Citation to the 551st Parachute Infantry, a blue streamer with the white embroidered name Rochellenval will now be affixed to the regimental colors by Colonel Dillard and Captain Richard Durkee, United States Army retired. This streamer recognizes the exceptional performance of duty in combat during the American counteroffensive in the Ardennes, Belgium, culminating in the heroic attack and seizure of the heavily fortified German position of Rochellenval in the Somme River. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Douglas C. Dillard.
Chief said I had 45 minutes. General Shinseki, General Norton, Colonel Acklin, and distinguished guests, Goyas, ladies and gentlemen, and our gentle lady, Representative Morella from Maryland. I want to thank everyone, and particularly the Chief of Staff, for sponsoring this. It's very meaningful, as you can well imagine, for every one of us. And after such a long period of time, it is not only a vindication, but it's verified recognition that everyone felt was due for a number of years. And I believe that our history has been adequately covered, so I don't propose going over it again. I would like to make a few comments about life with a separate battalion, because I think that there's not an understanding of that for those of you, and I, in subsequent assignments, served in regiments, brigades, and division headquarters, and you're in a large organic organization. You got all the tools of warfare. A separate battalion is always out foraging, roaming the land. Your supply sergeant should be the best thief in the company in order to survive, because you're attached here and yon. And I asked General Norton as we were submitting a guest list, should we invite certain command of a regiment? He said, well, you're attached to everybody in the world. We can't invite everybody. And I think that's quite true. And the kind words that have been spoken about the unit today mean a tremendous amount of pleasure to not only the Goyas, but our surviving spouses, their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. And I was just in Belgium last week to represent the unit at the dedication of a plate to go on our monument in Rochellenval. And there were over 200 Belgians that turned out for the ceremony. Dan Beekman, the president of the 82nd Association, was there. And it was, like today, a joyful time. There's, obviously saddened feelings as we think about the troops that were lost, our friends. And then suddenly, in the midst of combat, your unit disappearing, and you end up in a new unit in a matter of days. And if you're a non-com, or an officer, you immediately have to prove yourself. You're in the new unit, you're a new kid on the block. And some of our men went in and took over squads and platoons and companies, and they had to demonstrate that they were as good, if not better, than the units they were joining. And they did very well. I think that we made a great contribution to the regiments of the 82nd, and we're all members of the 82nd Association, and very proud of that service. And we felt very proud to serve under General Gavin. And when you know the type of person that General Norton is, you know that they were all really great soldiers to serve under. We have our reunion coming up the latter part of this year, and I hope that we'll have a greater turnout. Unfortunately, and I must speak for our president, Bill Dean. He's a retired minister that lives in Arkansas, and he could not attend because of physical problems. Bill was on the attack on the 3rd of January, was a machine gun squad leader, and he had been shot in the ankle and was trying to find a hole to crawl in because of the withering small arms fire. And he has told this to all of us, that he promised the Lord that day if he saved or provided a way for Bill to survive that day, he would devote his life to it. So when the war ended and Bill came back home, he went into the ministry and did exactly what he said. And I think that speaks well of the attitude of all of our Goyas. And I would say once again, I thank everyone for all the support and help that we've gotten today in this tremendous ceremony. And as the gentle lady from Maryland said, you know, God bless America. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant First Class Mercy Diaz from the United States Army Band will now perform 2 World War II era songs in tribute to the service of the veterans and families of the 551st Parachute Infantry Battalion.
What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down the knitting, a book and the broom. It's time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Come taste the wine. Come hear the band. Have all your hosts start celebrating. Right this way, your table's waiting. No use permitting some prophet of doom. You'd wipe every smile away. Oh, life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. Sergeant Major Bobby Smith. Come taste the wine, come hear the band, come blow your horse, are celebrating. Right this way, tables waiting. Stop by and knitting some cradle of doom. It isn't that long a stay. Life is a cabaret, old chum. It's only a cabaret, old chum. And I love a cabaret. Thank you. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. 'Cause life is a ca be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut tree, oh, wish you well, and I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I always think of you that way. I find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'd be looking at that moon, but I'll be seeing you.
Course, halt, rate, press. 10 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to witness are the actions and commands inside of a C-130, a C-141, and a C-17 high-performance aircraft, just moments before the 82nd Airborne jumps into the darkness of the night. Check equipment! Sound out, welcome and charge! Ready? Go! Here we go. Here we go. All the way. All the way. Gotta be rough and tough. Rough and tough. Airborne. Airborne. Every day. Every day. We run to the sun. To the sun. No sweat. No sweat. Not yet. Not yet. Down in a mess hall on my knees. Down in a mess hall on my knees. We got nothing to eat but a can of beans. Nothing to eat but a can of beans. The bread was molded and the meat was bad. The bread was molded and the meat was bad. And you know darn well that you can't eat that. Hey! You know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go. Here we go. All the way. All the way. Gotta be rough and tough. Rough and tough. Airborne. Airborne. All the way. All the way. Well, young always wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne, and easing the breeze. But now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna jump from an aircraft while in flight. All the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on. All the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on. Early one morning in the drizzling rain, well, I picked up my parachute and boarded the plane. Jump master said 1 minute to go, and the green light lit with the chilling glow.
All the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on. All the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on.
Here we go, all the way, gotta be rough and tough, airborne. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are the 82nd Airborne Division's All-American Chorus, and we do hail out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina, which is home of the airborne. And the 82nd Airborne Division is America's Guard of Honor. On behalf of the Commanding General, Major General Vines, and the Command Sergeant Major of the 82nd Airborne Division, Command Sergeant Major Thorpe, and on behalf of the 14,300 plus paratroopers of the division, we'd just like to say it is our pleasure to perform for you this afternoon. But before we get started, there's one thing I'd like you all to keep in mind. The soldiers you do see standing directly behind me are not only talented singers, but they are first and foremost highly skilled paratroopers, and they do represent most of the major units we have in division today. We have soldiers from the infantry, artillery, engineers, cavalry scout, aviation, service and support, air defense, signal, and we even have a soldier from military intelligence. I said military intelligence. For our first selection today, we'd like to do a compilation of various themes from different airborne units, past and present. This is the Airborne Medley.
If you see a soldier with a parachute on his hat and walking proudly down the street, I'll bet you money that if you say, hey, soldier boy, what outfit are you in? Then he'll turn around and he will shout with all in him, I'm proud of allowed to be one of the proud of the parachute infantry. Oh, yes, fighting men are we, and we are fighting for our liberty. We'll lick the Japs, the dirty rats, and then get Hitler too, and we'll see him in his rod and hell we're through. From the islands of the Philippines, shores of Germany, you will hear a battle cry as they fall down from the sky. I'm proud I'm allowed to be one of the crowd of the parachute infantry. We have a rendezvous with destiny. Our strength and courage strikes a spark that will always make men free. So jump right down from the skies of blue. Keep your eye on the job to be done. On the job that's to be done. 101st, we'll fight till the battle's won. Screaming eagles diving from the sky, striking from the air. Now's the time, jump, look out now. Stand up, look up, screaming eagles, jump right down from the skies of blue. Keep your eye on the job to be done, on the job that's to be done. 101st, we'll fight till the battle's won. There's a job to be done, so we're